What's up, everyone? This is Yukio, just testing out a new audio video. I know this monstrosity looks monstrous, but what I'm going to show is a little bit of the process of how I'm working on an animation from Procreate. So Procreate now has a way you're able to animate with these animated GIF, animated PNG, even an animated MP4. And what's great about it is that finally they have animation. I've been trying to animate through other means, and I've always loved Procreate and wish that they had a better way to animate, and now they do. I still kind of prefer other ways of animating, but for now this is what Procreate can do. So how it does is it starts with the bottom layer, so it would be this one, and then it just goes on frame by frame to the next layer after that, and so on and so forth. So what I have right now, here's a little quick look, a little preview of what it looks like at the left. So I first started, I'll go back, I started this one where just kind of like acting as a base. Go back to, here we go. It's a little base of just a little turn, surprise look, and then just a little happy blinky face. And then I tried to figure out like what I want to add to the base, and ended up watching some Wolfychu, got a little inspired and kind of liked her character design and decided to work on that. So if this didn't look too familiar to you before, yeah, hopefully it does now, because hopefully it looks closer to Wolfychu anyway, with the hair and the ears added on. And so I started off with just the blue skeleton. Actually, this is a little trick I use, is I have this layer that's just a white screen. I just put it over a layer and I show it. And what it does is I lower the opacity of the white screen so it kind of blurs out the rest under it, so I could tell what I'm actually drawing on as compared to what's below it, what's the previous frame. So another look at that is I cover these, or sorry, take away these ones, hide these layers, quite a few. You kind of tell how there's one layer under this one that is now being blocked by this. So that one's probably a bad example. Let's try this one. That's not much better. Here we go. So this is kind of like the two layers, one where her eyes are closed all the way here, and then the one before that one is when they're slightly open. So this is during the blink and the little ear flick here. Alright, and we go back here. So that's kind of my trick, is I start with the blue, which is just the body. So I try animating a body each time. Probably a better way to kind of show this is a time-lapse replay. It starts from the beginning. So I started doing the blue body bit by bit, but here's where I messed up. I didn't do any keyframes. Where a keyframe would be just kind of like, one would be like the side profile face here, then we'll go into like the front, and then another pose without any in-betweens, and those are the keyframes. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I just went frame by frame, and you can see how that started making the head shrink, which is no good. No good at all. So you could tell that I started noticing that the head was a lot smaller, especially going back and forth like this. So I went back and just enlarged the heads here to try to match each other, so it didn't look like her head was shrinking as she was turning it. And I tried doing a little shoulder shrug towards the end, but I ended up having it look a little bit weird, so I just changed it to just a little head tilt here. And then I added the green just to kind of get a little difference between the blue, and I started adding just eyes and a mouth. Just kind of work on the expression and the timing of where she would have certain expressions in the blink. And then that's when I started adding the hair. Have it pop up when she was surprised, and then come down. Add a little bit more of a rest, and then a little bit of swing as she tilts her head. And then the blink. And then quickly add the ears after that. And give it a little flick towards the end, just to have a little bit more fun with it. And that's its state so far. So what I'm going to do next is pretty much how the process will go. So I'll actually have all these hidden, except for towards the first one. Probably put that right there for now. Hide all these. Now I'll open this up. Then with this white layer with a low opacity, I'll block over this. Then I'll create a new layer over that. And then that's when I would switch this to probably a gray or something for now. I would just go back. Oops, I had the wrong brush. It's probably from a previous thing I was working on. So brush I'd probably use, I'll probably just do black pencil for now, because this is just going to work on like the outline and whatnot. So I'm using my finger right now, still trying to get a better stylus. Unfortunately, this is just all through my phone. Probably actually transfer this and work on my iPad. So basically, I would just do the line work, which is a little quick example. And then after doing the line work, I would probably like have that close, and then just go on to the next one, create a new layer here, and then just do the lines over there until I have just line work for all these parts, all the frames, and then it'll just be just more like a outline sketch look to her animation. And then I'll probably end up deleting these layers, because I could only do so many layers on this, unfortunately. If they had unlimited layers, I wouldn't have to worry about that. But since it does, I'll probably just delete these colored layers for the outline, and then later just go back and then fill in the colors and probably do some shadows and everything, but I'm going to have to do it one at a time. So this was just to check to see how the animation looked. That way I knew how many frames I needed, what frames were okay in places where others I had to change. And after going through, I was able to see the head was shrinking while I was animating, so I was able to go back and fix that before doing the final. So it's definitely time consuming, but after a while it should come out fine, at least, and just getting the practice in. So I just want to show you a little bit of the process of how I do it, and if you guys have any kind of some better hit tips or tricks, go ahead and let me know. That way I could probably try those out and see if that'll help speed my process along on this little experiment. So thank you for watching, and hopefully some of this was helpful for some that were also given this new program, well, not new program, it's been around for a while, this new feature to Procreate a try. So thanks again for watching, and if you do enjoy this kind of stuff, I'll be trying to show more of like how I animate, how I draw and everything on Procreate. And unfortunately with my new moving condition, I haven't been able to set up a little recording booth to record my more hand-drawn on regular pencil and paper drawing, so that probably won't be for a while. But yeah, just give me a heads up in the comments, let me know what you think, and if you do like what you see, go ahead and click and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and have a nice day.